Unwarranted, concentrated economic power in the hands of a few is dangerous to democracy, especially when digital platforms control content. The era of self-regulation is over.
Well, for more on tech's troubles, Santosh Rao joins us now from New York City. He's the head of research at Manhattan Venture Partners. Welcome back to Money Talks, Santosh. It really does look like that the fangs are out for the fangs, that is Facebook, Amazon, Apple and Google. Just how worried should these big tech companies be about these investigations that are unfolding?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, any type of regulatory or government interference in the free-flowing area of tech, which is what Silicon Valley is not good. But I think we all have to accept, and I concur with that opinion, that some kind of guardrails are needed. These companies have gained too much power, way beyond what was thought of in the beginning. They control the opinions, they control the flow of ideas, they control the dollars, advertising dollars. So I think there is some argument to be made that there needs to be some kind of guardrails put around them, some kind of accountability to put around them. But to strangle them with regulatory supervision and all that will be negative. That's my opinion. They need to be left alone in that sense, but within a certain guardrail.
Yes, let's look at the first issue of anti-competitive behaviour. We know that the European Commission has fined several of the US tech giants for anti-competitive behaviour in the digital advertising space. Can you tell us a bit more about what they're being accused of in terms of this antitrust investigation?
Well, I think the whole idea is that they've become just too strong. Like Google, for instance, they control 90% of the search market. They control 60% of the advertising dollars that are out there. So that's a very big percentage. So it's kind of strangling competition. I think that's the whole argument, that they need to let others come in. Like Google, staying on Google, I mean, they with their Android operating system, which is like 80% of the whole handsets out there, that's a big share. So they can really control. They're almost the gatekeepers in a way. So I think to that extent, there is a monopolistic tendency out there that these companies, that the European Union and the other countries want to control. So there is an argument to be made. But I think it's not a straight. They didn't create this. It just happened, just the way it is. I don't think they said that you can't do something. They're just very good at it. So it's really, I mean, you'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Paying fines is okay. I guess that's an easy thing to do. But to really change the way Google and Facebook operate is going to be a long way. It's going to take some time to see how they can really change their practices. Fairness is required, but I think if there are, I mean, Facebook has said there, Mark Zuckerberg has said that, you know, he's fine with some kind of supervision. He doesn't want to be the whole, he doesn't want to control the whole thing. He doesn't want to be responsible for what's going on out there totally. He says he's open to some kind of regulation on that end, some kind of supervision, some kind of rules. But I think that's where it's headed. So it's a long process. Fining them is the easy way to do, but I still believe it's unfair. They didn't create it on their own. It just happened. They're just very good at what they do. And that's what's happening right now.
Let's look at the issue of hate speech and so-called fake news on these digital tech giants. We know that the US Democrats, they really do have an axe to grind in this area, don't they? They blame the dissemination of fake news that led to their last election failure on the spread of fake news on social platforms like Facebook. Do you think the Republicans on the other side will share the concerns that the Democrats have around this?
Absolutely. I think that's, like I said, there are issues. There is an argument to be made that some kind of a regulation, some kind of a supervision, some rules, some barriers need to be put in there. And so the opinion, they control the narrative that goes on. I mean, they're pretty much become the gatekeepers of what's out there, what news people read and what news people see. So I think that's not fair. They need to open it up. And Silicon Valley, and it's well known that they lean left in their political thinking. And if they are controlling the flow of information, that's not good. So I think there's definitely an argument to be made. And I think that's the core issue right now. Just, we need to come up with a system. It's something new. It's new territory. I don't know how they do it. They're still working on it. But there needs to be some supervision, some kind of a system where information is flowing without any interference, any bias out there. So there's definitely a case. And you talked about hate speech and all that. All those things are excesses that can be controlled. There should be punishment out there that should be addressed very aggressively. Those things are definitely out of bounds. But within the normal operating environment, I think some kind of supervision, some kind of rules is called for. And that's what we're heading towards.
Okay, we'll see if, as Nancy Pelosi says, if the era of self-regulation is indeed over. Santosh Rao in New York, thank you as always.